The stunning and brave developers of South of Midnight, best known for how much they unironically hate white people, because man, they tweeted that constantly during development and launch. And needless to say, it did not go well for them. And in case you do not know, South of Midnight is that right there. Yes, it is exactly as a boring, a lame, and dull as you would think it is, by the way. But in any case, the studio is gone. After the developers said that they don't care that that this game did not even sell 20k copies. They don't care. It's fine. They're gonna make new games. You can't stop. Oh, look at that. They're all fired now. Oh, and by the way, you know what's the funniest spot? This was Xbox's new attempt at a AAA IP. I kid you not, by the way. It legitimately was. Rumor has it, the circulation on the internet, is that this thing costed more than 100 million in budget to make. Now, I personally said that there's no way that this is less than 150 million after seeing behind the scenes. But I mean, what do I know? I'm just a rando guy who obviously just throws out the dice and always somehow is exactly on point. Now, too bad I can't do that with lottery tickets, but you know, at least I can do it with this for some reason and always be right ahead of the curve, baby. In any case, you reap what you sow. Go woke! Go broke!
If you ever want to know how out of touch video game developers, writers, and creatives in general are, all you have to do is go to Blue Sky. You can just tell that they are making games for themselves, that they don't understand what customers actually want, and
I mean, they literally said that this is this is exactly that, by the way. They didn't even try to hide it, okay? They literally just said this is to own the chuds, pretty much.
whenever things don't go their way, they go back to their echo chamber and they say, we need more change and the industry isn't doing good enough. And over the past few days, we've heard about a lot of studios potentially shuttering, games being canceled, and people have been talking a lot.
Don't miss the Bethesda is gonna get shut down video. It's probably before this one, but don't miss out on it. Because I'm so happy. Boys, you know that I have literally been yapping for more than a year, I think, at this point, that Bethesda's cooked. There's gonna be layoffs, and probably Todd Howard's gonna get fired. And that's finally happening. Oh, God. I've been waiting for this moment so long, and it's finally here. I'm so happy.
About compulsion and their title South of Midnight. And if you go to the threads on Blue Sky about this, man oh man, are the activists melting down. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community and YouTube memberships. Now,
Like the video, by the way. It takes less than a second. Do it right now. And thank you for everyone who supports the channel. You are the best. It really does, by the way, help a lot if you do press that like button. And do it right now. It takes literally less than a second. And subscribe while you're at it. Thank you for everyone. You do an impact, and this lets more people know about the situation. Every like is 2 more views, so thank you, everyone.
I personally do not look at Blue Sky a lot unless I am following a specific developer and like their social media history, and I'm curious to see what they're saying in their echo chamber. I stay away from this toxic hellscape, and Kotaku posts, the Alyssa Mercante's posts on this platform, and because South of Midnight was praised by the Access media, and because you had so many activists saying this game was stunning and brave, I thought it
The most stunning and the most of the bravest.
was a good idea to see what they were talking about over here. And boy, oh boy, are these people melting down. Now, I actually don't think that South of Midnight was the worst game I had ever played. I thought it had potential. I really liked its art.
I honestly think that's. I know she's not lying, but I almost want to say she's lying because it's just a shitty platformer. That's what it is. There's barely a game there, honestly.
Style. I didn't think that the general narrative was bad, but it failed
Same. I think it was very based in fact that right off the bat you got introduced to your main protagonist who does not respect her mom and doesn't have a dad. I do think that was pretty based of them.
Because it didn't appeal to audiences. You have these characters who very clearly do not really have a personality except for, oh my gosh, I am a black person and I am oppressed. Things are not going my way. I've been mistreated. They're all
Please give money here, PayPal link.
pretty one dimensional. I do think that the combat was extremely bad because it got super repetitive. And while again, I thought that the general aesthetic with some of the boss fights did look pretty cool and the art style was not bad, it definitely didn't deserve to win as many awards as it did.
The art style, the general art style was not necessarily bad. I agree with that, by the way. But everything they did surrounding the art style was fucking abysmal, okay? The fact that this game it was intentionally made to play in like 5 FPS, so that's a stylistic choice, Chad, that you obviously don't understand. No, it's just a shitty and stupid choice. You're just an idiot.
But a lot of the awards that it won, like the Peabody Award winning Compulsion Games title, as Kotaku calls it, Peabody Award is for
Remember when we talked about was this? I think this was 2 days ago when we talked about how funny it is that all of these studios that get these massive 250 types of rewards are all shutting down. Interesting. It's almost like all of this is just a giant money laundering scheme, almost.
social points. That's all the Peabody Awards are. It is the Stunning and Brave Award ceremony. I don't see Peabody Award winning and go, oh my god, this game is amazing. They just hand out trophies to the most diverse and inclusive games possible. As I always say, diversity and inclusivity is great when it is done naturally, but
Meh.
according to reports, Sweet Baby Inc. got them to change their main character from being a white woman to being a black woman simply because they
Now, to be absolutely fair, even if she was a white woman, that would not have mattered in the slightest. The game would still be an absolute disaster. And people would actually question the fact that there's no father figure in her life. But I guess that's a different story. Okay? I also did not know that Sweet Baby Inc. had actually partaken a role in this. Not even remotely. Oh no, wait, I did. I did. Or whoever. But I knew about it later. Now, honestly, can they do damage to something like this? No, I honestly don't think so. I mean, I want Anita to put her hand in the cookie jar for things like, marathon. Fuck it, put her as a lead developer for Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout 5. It's like we don't have anything to lose at this point. Let's just make it funny at least.
wanted as much diversity shoved into this as possible, but a lot of these people are freaking out saying this is unfair. Corporate greed wins again. And I think that this is so funny because the reason why companies exist is to make money. And sure, I definitely do agree that sometimes risks need to be taken. And we need to see new, unique content that
Risks need to be taken is not necessarily true, but it's not necessarily bad. But this is not a risk. No one risked making this. This didn't get made because someone thought, oh, we're gonna risk it and make this thing, and it's gonna be either a huge success or not. No, this is not a risk. This was made purely to virtue signal, and that's what it did.
isn't the same type of commercially successful slop we've seen being pumped out for the past 15 years. Sometimes you do need Expedition 33s. Sometimes you do need Mina the Hollowers. Sometimes you do need experiences that are super fresh. But if a company isn't making money, of course they're going to shut down a studio or lay people off or not give them more money for the next title. This game reportedly had a $100 million budget, including both production and marketing, which is insane. If South of Midnight was made with a couple $1 million and only a handful of people, I would say,
Are you kidding me? They literally went on trips to see how Louisiana looks and meet the local black families and shit to make this. Okay? That's literally what they did. And they did a lot more than that.
know what? Wow, what they created was much better than I think it is now, right? Because if you have a pretty long, expansive game,
Okay, how much this game would need to have costed if how much was the how much was this? 50 bucks, 40 bucks? I don't remember. But anyway, it literally sold less than 30k copies. So let's give it 30k just because honestly, why the fuck not, right? 30k copies times 40? Yeah, let's go with 40, sure. Is only 1.2 million minus one third because Steam, minus 30%, I guess, because Steam. The budget for this needed to be 8 million, and they would not even be breaking fucking even. 1 million, and it would not be breaking even, okay? Oh, it's such a disaster.
and it's only made by a couple people, I'm going to give you more credit. But when you had $100 million and you also apparently had over 100 people
They literally also had an orchestra for this thing.
that worked on it total,
Having an orchestra for this thing that's all black is, by the way, pretty expensive, I would imagine.
yeah, I can't help but side with a company. Point blank. Now, there are these people saying, fuck's sake, South of Midnight was a breath of fresh air. Xbox is just becoming synonymous with having a studio drop a fantastic timeless game and shutting them down. As thanks. Xbox so addicted to losing, even a new CEO can't change it. I personally think a lot of the moves that she's making are pretty big W's. It is, of course, depressing, right? To see that people are losing their jobs and there's
Nope. These are rookie numbers. We want more. Everyone watching this video wants more. More. Fired them all. Fired an extra 50% just to be safe. We want to see the people fired. We barely call them people. God damn it! At the end of the day, they're so bad. Okay, we want all of them fired. Fire everyone at South of Midnight. Fire everyone at Bethesda. Fire everyone at Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo. Let's not kid ourselves. They all deserve. Fire them. Fire their families from their jobs. Put them out of their homes and houses, and make sure that they never live in society again. How about that? How about that? I think that sounds great, okay? And that's still not even enough. I want them to be fired.
bound to be a couple of really talented and passionate people that were laid off that I wouldn't want to see leave this industry. But with how many activists are in this space, how many issues we have, how many untalented people were hired just based on their skin color or their
Probably all of Microsoft at this point.
sexuality, it is what it is. If you're not good at your job, you don't deserve to have it. This industry is so beyond broken, says Miria with the trans flag in their bio. I'm playing South of Midnight on PS5 now, a unique game that should have gotten more support from the publisher. I think it's so hilarious when people like this blame the publisher for
Oh, by the way, I should make a victory lap video about the fact when Sharma got hired, I said that Xbox is gonna go through a lot of stuff. You haven't seen anything. This is also, by the way, not exactly even the thing that I was talking about, but it's a start, and I like it. Boys, listen, Daddy needs his victory laps, okay? Daddy needs to push it into the face of these people more the time right and they're wrong. It is what it is.
not supporting the studio when a mother truckers like this didn't show up to support it either. Maybe if you actually swiped your credit card on this game and you used
No. We know how big the audience for these people is, and that's like maybe 20k sales. Maybe 20k sales. Dragon Age the Veilguard was the biggest support these people ever did for anything, and that amounted to nothing. Nothing. Literally nothing, anyway. So, something as small as South of Midnight, maybe if they all fly their banners, they're gonna get like 6 people to consider buying it. Not actually buy it, they're never gonna do that, but consider buying it. Maybe retweet that it's a very stunning and brave game, but not really do anything other than that. Boys, it's just the start, and that was very dark 10 out of 10. Have a nice day. Bye!